I want to talk to you in this video about what the fastest way is to increase your own self-respect. And I'm also going to unpack briefly later in this video why it's so vital and critical to actually increase your self-respect. In fact, why it's an absolute 10x, 100x game changer for you as a human when it comes to your self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is a fancy word for being able to go out and accomplish the things that you set your mind to. You with me? So basically, being able to increase your overall capacity, competence, and likelihood of accomplishing the things you'd like to accomplish. Self-respect is like a hidden force multiplier or like an X factor, a wild card in being able to do that. So I was talking actually about this with a friend of mine recently, and he asked me, he goes, what do you think is the fastest way to increase your own self-respect as a human? And my answer to this question is the following, and I'll explain why. It's a simple thing I call the say-do ratio, meaning the more your do matches what you say, the closer that gap is, the more self-respect you will feel. For example, let me explain. How many times, and Lord knows I've been there 100 times myself, 1,000 times myself, how often do we say, oh, I'm going to start Monday, right? Insert any topic, fitness journey, getting on the grind, starting a new project, whatever it might be, right? I'll start Monday. I'll start tomorrow. By the end of this year, in the next 12 weeks, by the end of this month, right? How many times do we say that? We say that a lot, right? Especially if you have any kind of, if you're a person who's kind of really into getting goals and experiencing more and more of life, right? We tend to be naturally curious and driven and creative. And so we're always thinking of other things and new things and more things we can do. So we probably, if you're anything like me, you say a lot of things. Like the examples I just gave you before is basically like root phrases, and you can tack on anything specific that is specific to what you've been saying to yourself. And yet our follow through with many people is well below 50%. This applies not to just the big things, but even little things. For example, hey, yeah, I'll send you that email by the end of the week. Hey, I'll take care of that by Wednesday. Hey, in the next day or two, that'll be handled. Hey, tomorrow I'll send you those X, Y, and Z, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Even in the small things. When I became aware of this idea and I did an honest, ruthlessly honest self-analysis of my life, I realized that my personal say-do ratio was absolutely bankrupt. Like I was, as a metaphor, completely upside down. So the first way to increase and improve your say-do ratio is to talk a lot less. All right? Start saying less, committing to less, promising less, and then become absolutely maniacal about following through on everything that you say you're going to do. Things that you say to yourself and promise to yourself in your own mind and head that even nobody knows about, and things that you commit to verbally via text message, etc., to other people. So anything you commit to or say you're going to do to yourself or to others, start making less promises and become absolutely maniacal about following through and decreasing the gap between your say-do ratio, right? So for example, if you do 1 out of every 2 things, or you follow through on 1 out of every 2 things you say you're going to do, your say-do ratio is 50%. You need to be at least, by my estimate, at the very least at 75% if you want to feel self-respect. Here's how this ties to self-respect. Check this out. I asked my friend, and I've asked this question to so many people throughout my life. I asked, this is the question: who is the first person to see or know everything that you do or don't do? Well, of course, the answer is you, right? Me. I am the first person to see and know everything that I do or don't do. The way I explain this is you are capable of lying to other people, but we are incapable of lying to our subconscious because our subconscious sees the truth of everything. You could rationalize yourself. You can rationalize to yourself. I can come up with excuses to myself, but I can't lie to myself. And so if you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, let's just talk about things you promise yourself. Whatever framework that is, start tomorrow, start Monday, start next week, by the end of the month, by the end of the year, whatever, right? If you make promises to yourself and then your subconscious sees that you don't follow through on it, don't do it, you're telling your subconscious in your core self-identity that you are not important and therefore you're not worthy of respect. And here's how I can prove it to you that this is what happens. Think of a person that would be really, really, really important or valuable to you. Maybe a really wealthy business mentor. Maybe somebody who's super successful in your field or your career. Maybe you're a creative artist. And so somebody who's really successful in your niche, to have a relationship or a mentorship with them would be priceless to you, right? Imagine somebody who's the perfect person that you would want to date, fall in love with, marry, whatever it might be, have a relationship with. Hot guy, hot woman, whatever, right? If you told them that you wanted to take them out on a date, let's say somebody you're interested in, and they said yes, and then y'all agreed to 7 o'clock Thursday, you bet your sweet ass you're going to be there Thursday at 7 o'clock. Why? You value them. So you respect them. So you are following through on doing what you said you would do. Imagine having the opportunity to maybe go have dinner or hang out with a potential mentor or somebody that could really help you in your life, right? That you look up to, and they invite you to hang out with them or hang out with them and their friends, whatever that might look like. You're going to follow through on it. Why? You respect them. You respect the opportunity. So see, when you respect somebody, your behavior is congruent with that respect by you following through on the plans you made with them or what you said you were going to do for them, because you want to win that opportunity, whether it's to get into bed with somebody or whether it's to learn from somebody or work for somebody, whatever it is, you're going to follow through. So if you say to yourself, hey, 7 p.m. Thursday, I'm going to start working on this goal. Monday, I'm going to start working on this project, and you don't, what are you saying to your subconscious? You're saying, I'm not worthy of respect. I don't respect myself. And when your subconscious sees that, when your soul, your heart, your mind sees that, it leads to immediately a dramatic loss in self-esteem. Your self-esteem takes a massive hit. And when your self-respect goes down and your self-esteem goes down, then your subconscious thoughts, which lead to your conscious regular thoughts, which lead to your overall beliefs, and then your general feelings, which then immediately and directly influence the actions you do or don't take. It's a domino effect of how you show up day to day and how you show up for yourself and how you take advantage of opportunities, or the kind of opportunities that even come to you for you to be able to take advantage of them. Are you with me? Do you get what I'm saying? So, because really take a step back and think about this. Imagine a version of yourself where you picked something that you really wanted to, that you've been saying for a long time you wanted to create in your life or accomplish in your life. And let's say that you got absolutely maniacally, like level 10 out of 10 boss mode, dialed in on it for 90 days. Just 90 days, 12 weeks. Imagine the feeling you would feel in your chest, your mind, your stomach, your overall body if you just like absolutely nailed it. No shortcuts, just dialed it in. That feeling that you feel right now, imagining what you would feel like, a big part of that is that self-respect. Like, yeah, I did it. You showed up for yourself. So remember this. The fastest way to increase your self-respect is having a say-do ratio with as little gap as possible between the things you say you're going to do to yourself and to others, and then the follow-through. You want to do your level best to make it 100%. And the closer it is to 100%, the much bigger and higher your self-respect and therefore your self-esteem is going to be. And when you respect yourself, it comes across in your tonality, your energy, the way you talk, the standards you set, the bullshit you do or don't accept from other people, the way you think, the way you move, literally and metaphorically. And therefore, then that immediately dominoes into how people see you, how they do or don't treat you, what you get invited to, what you get left out of, the kind of opportunities that come into your life, the kind of opportunities that you miss out on. You with me? Self-respect is a huge game changer, force multiplier, and X factor for any individual that really wants to get ahead in life or accomplish big goals or dreams, or just wants to have a better life in general. Because listen, with self-respect, you just feel better about yourself. Okay? So this is the fastest way to increase your self-respect. And the final thing I'll close with is here. Look at everything that you've promised to yourself. List out everything that you need to do to make that gap zero, right? Make it 100% congruent between say and do ratio. And then when you start doing the things, don't focus on how long is it going to be until I get to the outcome. Focus on the fact that today I did what I need to do to be aligned with that version of myself that has that outcome. And by focusing on the win, by measuring success through a lens that focuses on did I or did I not stick to doing what I said I would do, your self-respect goes up immediately. It elevates that day. In that instance, like right now, I tell myself I'm going to work out every single morning, no matter what, first thing. And I'm going to do it for 1,000 days unbroken. I call it doing my first kill. And today I'm on day 676, unbroken, no matter where I'm at in the world. The first thing I do when I wake up is I work out. My subconscious sees that now. For 676 days, I've gone unbroken. My level of self-respect is much higher than it was 676 days ago. And my subconscious every morning sees that I'm doing it. So I must be worth some respect because I'm doing the thing I said I would do for myself. And the thing about increasing and improving your self-respect in any area is that it has this halo effect where it applies to all areas of your life. But when I go to work out, while I have fitness and physique and strength goals, like numbers of things I want to be able to lift, how I want to look, that's the ultimate outcome goal. I don't measure my success based upon, do I look like that yet? Did I deadlift that yet? The way I measure success is, did I do the workout I plan to do today? If I did it, check, boom, self-respect secure. And I just stack self-respect wins every single day, day after day, week after week. You do that, your whole persona, your energy, your aura is just simply going to change. And you're going to start falling in love with yourself again as a person and saying to yourself, I got this. All right? So go out there, dial in your say-do ratio, elevate your self-respect, and watch how your life changes.